Yeah, we've been doing clients and saying
those things I like, purchase all the things that you gave me. Couldn't buy your time. The lights say anything. Self-control, repossessed these messages you thought that you sent me. You got your wires crossed. Do what you wanna do. So who's in there? Looks like it's going to be Tyler Fighters. The B-finals, ladies and gents, 94-year-old time ago. Warren, Robinson, Bishop, Walsh, Mason, Barnard, Stack and Darley. That looks like RTR Resiliency Racing's Freddie Walsh leading the pack at the moment. Who's there with him? Hackney BMX bringing it on round. That is Sammy Stack on the 317 plate. Being chased down though by the 16 of Holly Bishop out of Halo Wheels. He's getting busy at the front of the pack. Bishop eyeing up the inside move. There's a quite close enough, so he's going to be Walsh down the final straight. Stack, Bishop, 2 and 3 to take it over the line. Right at the final, the third place. Louis just over came out complete. Shot out like that a bit more. Just that next corner. Trying to move up that northwest. He's holding there before her to go down. This first place, but leading out at the moment. Big back Stoneman and Swales in and out of the final corner. Oh, not boy shot. Happened to Murphy there. Something went wrong. He went from 3 to last. So take the win for the 16 DC cycles leading this one out. No, sorry. We must have skipped one because that is the 29-year-old Luke Davis Hayes, Luke Manzi, John O'Haradan doing it for all of the single legs out there. He's inside the top 3. Look at that for a high low in the final turn. Niall Moss looking to make that one stick down the final straight. He's going to go from 43. Putting the holding spot in at that 17.29 at cruising. And the hedges being counted. He's got Maloney, Elwood and Hyam in this one. Into that first corner where winning the gap. He's going to be sitting there. Looks like she's in that fifth spot as she comes down it. She's in there in second. She's chasing down the number 3 place of Taylor Lee Mohan. So Mohan can't match you on a 2 at the minute. Mohan trying to move way into that third place. But she can wind up. She tried by. Oh, who slung it up the inside there? I think that might be Spidey Maloney. Threw it up the inside. Went from 3 to 1. Hedges gets to 2. You are looking at MK Evolution. Nicola Wheeler. She's bringing it on in towards that second turn. The 6th plate of Liam Eden in there in 2. Bruce Marshall Brooks. She's inside the top 3. Repping the Team Bunny's jersey. Going 3 and 4 with the W8 plate of Josephine Thurston. Heading into the final turn. Jersey's in there. Repping the Outlaws club jersey. We do love a club jersey at national events. So it's going to be Meaden in the Bournemouth jersey picking on that race win. Rob Harris shot out like a cannon there. Doing it with him. Picks up that 2 spot. Joel Marston being pushed back to 5 as they go in and out the first turn. So Moores leaving out to Harry. Sorry, Moores. So Harry goes. That's the 1 and 2. It looks like that's the 14th place of Moores in there in 3. Here comes Joel Marston. Working way up from 5 to 4. But leading it out at the moment. It's still Rob Harris. Harry's in Grove. Harry's doing Grove's doing it. The Mongoose BMX as they go down here. Grove's on a bit of a charge. Can he do it across the line? Harry's takes it. Gary Carver, what a palaver, the UK going to 1 and 2 with one looks on a 14 for the Tom Elliott out of Brixton BMX Club. John Racing are in there as well. That's Matt Phillips out of Running League Rockets on the 640 plate. Brett Knight, the last straight specialist, looking for a way to a top 3 spot. Throws in a high limit on final turn. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. The last straight specialist for a reason. Elliott, Carver, Knight. This stroke and who? Jason goes that first, but all they're banging elbows as they go into that first corner. Coming out that first time, they're leading it out at the moment. It is that David Wilcock being chased down by Keith Brown. By the looks, it's a Wilcock Brown. Where's Nick Hood? He's in there, he's bad at the moment. But at the moment, it is still David Wilcock for Hackney in and out the final turn. Brown doing it for Team Bind as well. He's in the mix there, but David Wilcock, he's going to take the win. The first of our A finals lining up on the gate, the 92-year-old crew. Round number 5 sees his first A final in the track, and it's none other than the 9-12-year-old cruisers. Check out Charlie Dowson, looking for a hole shot. He's going to pick it up in and out of that first corner with Dowson. BMX Hype going 1 and 2 with Arlo Steinmetz out of Burnham BMX Club. That looks like Rustinus. Leo Bradley getting busy into the turn. They're banging bows in the top 2 places for the top 2 spot. Look at Mr. Sigma Rizzo looking to take up Matsich right the outside. Westwood goes from 4 to 2 in one straight. It's going to be Dowson, Westwood, Bradley. That's your 1, 2, 3. Right then, second for A final of the day, 13 to 14 cruiser. We've got Mark. Jake Cross in and Spence in the mix now, he's in that Super DC cycle. Looks like that is Marco and Hardy. That's you wanted to. Coming around the outside, Oliver Arnold, what a first corner from Arnold. Doing it for Spidey Cycle. DC cycle chasing him down in 2 and 3. Looks like that's Marco in 2. He's Mark Hardy down to 2 and 3. Oh, just got chopped up in that second corner. How to get in and out the second turn, but leading it out at the moment. Smiley Cycle, Oliver Arnold. And he's going to take them in. Looks like that was Marco in 2, Harding in 3. Final number 12 up on the spot. 13 to 16-year-old girls are heading for turn number 1. Her birthday big wheels, Aileen Watson. She's been on a charge all day long on the big wheels bike, and she's looking to do the same in this final today. So heading towards turn number 2, then looking good for Watson. Who's there with her? That's got to be picking the 2 spot on the 885. We're looking like the Barlanes in there in 3. Who's in 4? That's got to be Arla Young. Arla Big Eyes heading towards the final turn. Green Machine got another rider in there. That is Grace Burge in 5. Who's picking up 6? That's Paige Castro Punnington. But Amy Watson, another winner, bought the big wheels. She takes it across the line in the 13 to 16-year-old girls cruiser. Right then, we've got 50. Massive gate there from Casting doing it for number 2. Richards is there. He goes from gate 1, but coming around the outside, looks like that is Team Ed. Newton Hindley slots into that 3rd spot. So Cotty feeding out. Cotty Richards, that's you want to do. Here comes Team Ed though. So Cotty
and everybody knows.
Newton Hindley picked up that 3 stop. Ronnie Richards though. Here comes Newton Hindley, goes from 3 to 2. Hindley goes on the inside. Oh, what a move there for Newton Hindley. Goes from 3 to 2 to 1. It's going to be a drag race today. Oh, don't leave that one to score. Final number 3, the silver, the 16-year-old Caruso B finalist. On track, looks like decent cycles fingering out. Probably Happy Hardy. One of the max of the channel of years. Heading towards our final turn. Who's on the inside for the 3? Well, looks like it could be Benjamin Dean out of Hotshot Racing. The last show in action, Dean in there for 3, solid for 2. Hardy picks up the win.
Trying to phase out when you do it.
massive gates as they go down this Thursday. Looks, oh, Rocky O'Brien hits the deck, takes two riders with him, but it looks like Brooks and Wilson set out front. I think Wilson's gone on the inside. Here they come coming down this second straight into this first corner. It's still Brooks and Wilson, but it looks like it's Brooks leading out. So Brooks, Wilson, that's you wanted to. Think that's Charlie Wood in there in three as they go in and out of the final turn. Aaron Wood, the European number 2, he's still leading out. He's going to take the win. Daniel Eustace is going to get it too. 19 to 29-year-old women's cruisers are a go. Will's had a blinding gate, but so has Hannah Drew. The one plate from 2025, home shots in the turn. Drew, Ford, hurry, that's your podium spots as it stands. Who's in there for 3? Looking like Anya Martin Alonso, so is inside the top there. The third plate is Jessica Hemsworth, just been shuffled by Molly Nice, who's worked her way into a top 5 spot. But look at Hannah Drew, a one on the front of the bike for a reason. Last year's national champion taking it to him. Last straight action, she's going to take the win for Aperture BMX. Hurry with a late toss to the line for the 2 spot will fail. That one was close. Transformers of Terror, do your thing. Right in. SJ had first pick, but Stuffle decided to go 8. Oh, she's just carved straight across it. Looks like it's going to be SJ. Stuffle goes to that first corner. Stuffle trying to go round the outside, but SJ gets the slingshot. Looks like that's Rebecca Gold going up the inside. She's holding on to that second place at the moment. So at the moment it's SJ, Gold, Stuffle. That's the 1, 2, 3. Looks like it's Anita Wong in there in that 4th spot at the moment. Kim Baxter doing it to jumper in there in 5. Here comes Ryan Beckett picking up that 6, but into the final corner. Sarah Jane Nichols doing it for Hot Shot Racing. She's going to take the win. Can Michelle Stuffle do it on the line? No, Rebecca Gold, she takes the 2. 30 to 39-year-old cruisers. It goes down short, it's been shot on the cannon. Look it up for a snap, ladies and gents. Can he make it stick into turn number 1? It's it for BMX Hype's going 1 and 2 with the 2 guys out of Absolute Basketball Motocross. Dan Purple, the British champs getting involved. Smiley's on the inside. Nathan Evans chopping and changing as well. It's it, Purple, elbow to elbow. Last third action. It's it teasing off. Not Brad Bruce enough. Purple, it's it. Adam, that's your 1, 2, 3. Adam's not done yet. He's just not got the legs for him. Absolute go 1 and 2. That was insane. He's got Ginger, but he's got Chris Evans. He goes in gate number 1 as he goes down there. Looks like that's setting into Dixon coming through. Dixon squeeze into 3. Here's the Scott Dixon out first as he goes by. Pushing that Easton high and wide as he goes in and out the first turn. But it's still Chris Evans being chased down by Dixon. Smith's in there in 3. Oh, James Wilson picks that beat in pocket in turn 2 as he goes down this Thursday. Thomas Betton now Iron. Looks like Sketton was Iron or Wilson there, but couldn't make it sit. Has Wilson got the legs to go from 3 to 4? Evans takes the win. Dixon gets the 2. Smith gets the 3. 35-49 cruisers in front of it. Final 19 hits the track. Norman Marco has retired the flat pedals and he's gone for flips. And we can see what a thing has had on in this season. He's absolutely blinding quick. Marco, DC Cycles, DJ 2 Goods in there in 2. Where is Mr. KHRT? He's in there in 3. We're going to stick Moto winner on the back of his jersey for the next round of Astros. But he's in there looking for a podium spot at the moment. Last turn action. Marco, 2 good, Star, that's your 1, 2, 3, who's going to get the 4? Looks like Jamie Rose is going to pick up the 4 spot for the Northeast. 6, so 50 to 54 cruiser, A final, let's hear it for. Yeah, he drops, massive snap there from Hill. Barnard trying to go up the outside, but sweeping across. That looks like Ian Ardle, but Barnard looks like Hill's going to go up the inside. Oh! Hill and Archibald getting all guys. Archibald's down, Hill's gone down, 3 riders gone down. It's an absolute grenade, it's gone off. Barnard checks out, looks like Pope managed to avoid it. In and out. It's literally carnage, but Barnard, he's going to take the win. Looks like Tim Porter managed to avoid it, picks up the 3. Absolute carnage. I think Pete Butler, he's avoided it. Final number 21, the 55 plus Cruiser, the waging winner on there, 24, headed for turn number 1. Who's going to pick up the whole shot? Looks like we've got Brett Archibald leading the pack. The Scottish contingent are going 1 and 2. Archibald Campbell, that's your 1 and 2. Burford on in there in 3. Who's in 4? That's got to be Steve Norman. Doing it for Alan's Factory Supercross. But it's all out for BMX winner photography. That is looking good for Brett Archibald. Last it all went wrong. Campbell Nixon in the line. Bernard Norman 2 and 3. Male 7-3 final. We got a goal for Tom in this one. Where's the Iceman? He's currently sitting in that 3rd spot at the moment. Move back to 4. There's Stan Lockwood in his pink helmet. Mum's going to be watching on as he goes down this 3rd straight. Lee Zulka, but looks like we've got Howard there as well, but I think it might be Liam Tequila. He's leading out for Bristol BMX in and out of the final turn. Tequila's chasing down. Reggie Rice to slip back to 4. Oh, you're on the final, here's the BMX. Ruben Lamb, he's going to take the whole shot then. Who's there with him as they're going out of our first turn? Leon Fontaziak is in the mix. With a box of tricks. He's in there with that 4 and then having a good old scrap with John Joe Brundle, who's in 5. Who's in 3? Pike BMX coachings, Harrison Slater in the 2 spot. That's occupied by Oliver Bridle, Crucial Racing. Looking good, headed for the final turn. Lamb out front, Bridle in 2. It is going to be Slater in 3. That's your top 3. So bring it down the final straight and across the line. Final 24, male 9B. Final Rutherford, Littlefield, Connecticut, Walsgrove. Got to look like it is Archie Walsgrove. Pick the pocket in that first corner. Doing it for Telford BMX. The Spidey's going to be going mad. So it is Walsgrove being chased down by Lewis Field. Looks like that's Rutherford in there in 4. Slip back to 5 as you go in and out of the final burn. It's going to be Archie Walsgrove. Oh, he's coming under pressure from Lewis Field. Rutherford and Lewis Field. This is vintage. Who's going to be a key final hero? Looks like it's going to be Walsgrove on the line. 9-year-old girls speed final on track. TNT Racing out front. That is Lottie Arnold on the 172. Who's picking up the 2 spot? Luciana pins on Barron. She's doing the business in that 2 spot, chasing down the race leader as they bring it towards that final corner. That looks like Rushing Up Racing inside the top 3. Freya Forest under all sorts of pressure there from MCR Verity K. Last straight action. It's going to be Arnold picking up the win. Barron in there for that 2 spot. It's bringing it across the line. Who's in 3? That was Rushing Up Freya Forest. 10-year-old Marco. Leo Victor for MK Evolution. Where's Alexander Gilbert? Going to the Fluid BMX. So it is Gilbert leading it out, being chased down there by DUC Cycles. Not quite sure who that is. I think it might be Oscar Marco as it goes down in there too. So it is Gilbert Marco. That's your 1 and 2. Where's Blaber? Oh, Ryder got lost the pedal there in the final corner. Nice, I think that might be Jack Avis. Final number 27 is a very supple Alton Moore, Grace Ledgerwood Bar, Evelyn Smith and Mabel Kidd all out on track. The region race leaders will bring it on through. It looks like that company 12 later, Alton Moore, Exeter Eagles going 1 and 2 and 3. Smith out of Peterborough. So it's Exeter, Peterborough. That's your 1 and 2. He's picking up the 3 fast signatures. In there at the moment, Madison Scuffle on her home track here with Gosport, but she's under a bit of pressure from the other rider out of Peterborough. Heading towards that final turn. That was the later picture. She's worked her way right round the outside to go from 4 to 3. That Scuffle back to 4. But your race winner going to be the 12 of Alton Moore. 11-year-old is a B final. Betty Wills, Charlie Dowsey, 1 and 2 going into turn number 2, being chased down by George Spencer. In there we see that looks like the LCC of Jack Haynes picking up that 4 spot in and out the final corner. Your W4 plate, Betty Wills, Pro Star BMX. She's absolutely shot out Oh, the cannon. He's going to take the win. Dowson's going to get the two. Final is on track. BMX winner photography. Lisa Pat Murray Watson. Where is Jerry McAvoy's in the mix? Looking for a move. He's just gone from 8 to 5. Couldn't quite make him stick there, so he's shuffled back a couple of spots. Watson though leading it. A both collected border. Freddie Ray all in the in 2. He's being chased from the 8 to the turn number 3. It looks like that could be Sean Lowe out of Hackney. I think it is Lowe picking it up across the line. Right then, so we've got cracking first start. She's going to take the lead, going to that first corner. Queuing up behind it could be April Wood. She slipped back to 4. Here comes Bonnie Dudley in that second corner. Slips into 3, but being chased down. But it's now back in that 2 spot. Looks like we've got Aura Rosley. Star Racing, she's in there in 7 at the moment. Moved up to 6 as they go into the third corner. Where's Bonnie Dudley though? As she goes in and out of that final corner. She's chasing down. Here comes Bonnie Dudley. She's on a bit of a late charge. She's gone from 4 to 3 to 2. It's Archie Belly's in there in that 2 spot at the moment, chasing down. We've got Gomez Sands, Runnymede Rockets leading the pack then. Blue and Bosco made across. We've got Marcus Mullen in there in 3. Chasing down the Urana in 2, that's CGR. Of course, that's Archie Bell in and out of the last turn. Bell throws in a high low, can he make his stick? Sands, Bell down to the wire. Who's going to pick up the B final win? It looks like Sands for Rob. Final 30, female 30, he's got Karen Dickens, finishing Heather and Kirby. That looks like Mara and Karen leading this one out, but they're all queuing up behind her. Check it out, we got Kirby and Gold in there as well. Here comes Millie Ross, T-Mine, he's in the mix too, as they go in and out of the final corner. Rusty Nuts Racing, leaves up with that's Millie May Gold, she's in there in 4, but it looks like it's going to be Mara and Karen, she's going to take the win. Open 14 people all day long. He wants to show us why he should be in that main. He's in near the 1 spot at the moment, going 1 or 2 in the 7th plate. Oh, the quick Brooks Martin as he takes it towards the final corner. Who's the worst sort of race gear rider? Josh Jepson. He's up to 3, moves to be made in the final turn though. It looks like that could have been Harry Tyres. It was Tyres working his way through to a top 3 finish. Female 40 in the lead as they come back down towards us. Media Martin's in the mix here as well. It is the moment it is. Looks like it's the 7-5 play of Eleanor Martin. Here coming through though. Here comes Electra 2. Norris Surrett as well. Surrett's moved back into 3. Amelia Martin squeezed back into 2. Looks like that's an extra 2 going from 3 to 1 as they get out the final corner. Coming down this last straight in the lead. I think that's Surrett. Looks like Martin gets the 2. Surrett gets the 3.
Tonight, I can't stop this feeling, baby. Only you can make me come.
Brian Betts on track for the big final. Oh, dear. Matt Haywood, Royal Air Force leading this one through. Neil Robertson and a Cornwall BMX coming in that 2 spot. Ian Mills in there in about 4, that looks like a I think I'm a Steve Cheney actually, and they're inside the top 5. Chasing Mills down that final straight to bring it right the way down to the wire. Matt Haywood, your race winner. Right, Josh Osborne gets good, using Hindies up the inside. Here he's trying, the cannon looks like that is hard not racing. Evan Barlett going to turn number 1. Barlett gets pushed up wide. Newton Hindley swings it on the inside. He's going to be sitting there in there too. Here comes Newton Hindley though, chasing down the 4 players. He's Osborne, so it's Osborne and Hindley, that's 1 and 2. Here comes Star Racing Brody Geddes as he's in there in 4, in and out the final corner. Oh, Newton Hindley tries to throw it up the inside, doesn't quite work though. Heath Osborne takes the win. 15-year-old girl who's leading it out, looks like Libby Copping did it for Crucial BMX. Who's picking up the 2, that is Isla Young on the 623 plate, being chased down by a fire pick. Doing it for Green Machine Drive, that's gonna be Telford. Stevie Blackwell on the 389 inside the top 4, under pressure though. Maddie there, Paddy Dixon looking for a way into a top 5 spot. One rider hits the deck on the 3rd straight. Maddie the Maddie couldn't quite get close enough, so she's back here in a 5 at the moment. So your race winner, Coffin, Young, Pick, 1, 2, 3. Now Bombard going down, looks like Logan Wilson in there in 3. Logan Wilson moves up exactly, he's got chasing down the front as they go down this 3rd straight, but it's good structure, it's in time of Jamira, the film, Wilderson, that's your 1, 2, 3, in and out the final corner. Can't keep from the front do anything down the straight. Here comes Wilderson, but Jamira takes it. to 18-year-old Open Classics, the track. Max Burgess, High Spike UK, heading for that first corner, looking for a whole shot. Can he find it? Not this time. It's going to be Eli Smith, Rab Racing, breaking it up as we come through into turn number 2. Burgess in there in 2. That looks like Malachi O'Reilly inside the top 3. Rumours John O'Hara Venus in there in 4th with for MK Evolution, and all of the single ladies out there. Last turn action, in and out they go. Looking up for Eli Smith, smooth as you like. Rab Rexon picking up that beat on a wing. Right then, here we go, 17-18 female B, doing it in gate number 1. Shot out like a cannon, coming down his second straight, but it's hot shot racing. Isla Radcliffe leading this one out by the looks of it. So it's Radcliffe being chased down by, looks like Barry Six, Wiley Maloney. In there, he's rallying to get in and out of this second turn, but leading out front. Isla Radcliffe got the job done early on, in and out the first corner. She's got a commanding lead. Can anyone do it on the final stage? I don't think they can. Isla Radcliffe, she's going to take the win. 19-29-year-old B final in and out of win. Connect with the 7 and Josh Pate's Pope back to 1 and 2. Gets it down there. Carl got second turn perfectly, and he's up to about 3 at the moment. Under pressure goes JDC, that comes back at him into the final turn. Oh, it all went wrong for Gambo on the edge of the final corner. Pate's Pope back to 1 and 2. Let's hope Dexter Gambo's alright. Ellis Burke in that as well, but at the moment leading out is the number 9 place Megan Kirby. She's leading out yet, she hence got in there in that green spot, being chased down by Philly McNubb in there in 4. As she goes, Image Gibson in there in 4, it's got in and out of the final third, but leading it out at the moment, Megan Kirby, she's going to take the win. Looks like Hex got Baker, dives for the line, but she has to settle for 3. 6 of them. The first of the 20-inch A-finals is a go for round number 5. Anastasia looking to charge towards that first turn. BMX high lead this one through. Dowson's in there in 1. Where is Maxim Kazosiak? He's in there in 2. Chasing down the race leader. The 3 spotter's got to be Jump Club. That's Rupert Garden. Garden alternate if he wants to catch these 2 fast guys out from the 3 and 4, sorry. It looks like Take Brocky Cox out of Hackney BMX Club. With early Starcy, can anyone catch him? Into the final turn. And back out he goes. Maxim Kazosiak giving all he can. Here he comes, Kazosiak. Dawson slapping it out to the line. Oh my word. Dawson getting much closer for a 6 and under A final. 6 and under little ladies lining up on the gate. 6 and on the ladies are bringing the thunder, heading down the first straight. Where is Grace now? She's on the inside, looking like Kaya Gibson. High Spikes UK, she wanted that whole shot, but it is going to be Snell. Snell will eat it out for Blue Gosport Motocross and Gosport BMX Club. That's going to be High Spikes in there on the 620. Kaya Gibson pressure Pirates under all sorts of pressure though. As the 754, the Russell Torres. Looking to be the business in there in 3. Bradford Bandits are in there in 4. Look at Lenny Holiday go. She's made her move to go from 4 to 3. Making her way past Larissa Burrows. That is Adeline Wilson out of time for Flyers in there in 5. Last third and last straight action. Look at Grace Snell, ladies and gents. She's checked out from the pack. Gonna take the win. Look at the rider out of Bradford Bandits. Lenny Holiday takes 2 on the line. Kaya Gibson 3. Burrows in 4. Wilson in 5. Shots out of the title 7, get down the first day, looks like that's 3 barrels, oh but he sits the pedal, Oliver Savage to over and Rookie, Jensen dive into the first corner, Freddie Mitchell, North Island makes a move, looks like that's Jackson May, singing it on the inside, as they go in and out the first turn, coming down to him, who's got the lead, looks like it's the 0-1 play, being chased down by Jensen right, so it is third, dive, that's 1 and 2, here comes Reed Barrow, in there in 3, looks like that's Oliver Savage, in there in 4, as he goes in and out of the final turn, so it's going to be third, dive, Barron, Savage, has everybody got left in the tank to take on that, but they think he does, Burn's going to take the win, Savage is going to start, he's going to get the 2, Savage 3, Barron 4. Gate draws, who's got the speed? Looks like that Braintree Ford leading out. Jules Allen's going to be going absolutely crazy watching this at home. Into the first corner, the only third. He's going to get the whole shot. Who's up behind him? We've got Lauren first. Gibson right in. Ryan Gibson's doing it for Ice Bike. He's sitting in there with 5 at the moment. So Ford leading it out, being chased down by Lauren Kerr. That's your 1, 2, 3 as they go down the third straight. Looks like Ford's holding on to it. She goes into the final corner. Has Laurie got anything left in the tank? Can she do it as she comes in and out of the final turn? So it's going to be Ford, Laurie Kerr, where's Gibson? She's in there in 5, but the only Ford, Braintree, she takes the win. Laurie picks up the 2. 8-year-olds lining up on the gate for their final. We've got Luke. The 8-year-old girls are bringing over Norris heading through the first straight. He waits on a lane number 1. Looking to pick up a whole shot. Looks like Arthur slips his pedal. So it's going to be Shelby Yates leading it out. Just wheels right there with the Boots back wheel. We're on the Gosport National Racing Riders. Pinch and Brown. They're occupying 3 at the minute. We're on you, Gosport. You've got a couple of riders fighting for a podium start. Third straight action. Eels has made its move. They've gone from 2 to 1. As Yates got enough left in the tank for the final corner. Eels, Yates, here comes Brown. The last straight action. Jasper Eels looking like he's going to pick up the win in the 8-year-old boys. Eels, Yates, Brown, 1, 2, 3. 8-year-old girls, 1. Final number 48 years ago, these other 8-year-old girls have been scrapping it up all day long. Who's going to pick up the 4th Moto win? Heading into that first corner, Lucas, Sophia Reese, throwing bows in the turn. Reese leads it out. Reese there with it, that is Anthony Anderson on the 0-1 plate unit for Moto 1 and the top race team. The 3 spot is currently occupied by the 752. That looks like Eric Dunny out of Chesterfield BMX. Good to see them back on the circuit for next year. It's a got a greater track. TNT are nearing 4. And the water on the 366. In and out of the final corner. It is going to be Grand BMX coaching. Sophia Reese picking up the 4th Moto win of the day. There's Ray Anderson right there behind her in 2. Right then, lining up on the gate. It's the male 9A final left. Go Charles, watching Archie Fish on the inside, Pierce, yeah, he's going to go up, looks like that, who's there, doing it for Peckham, but Archie Fish is on the inside, who's next, he's not in there, into 2, where's Rapid Bowman trying to do it from gate 8, he's struggling, he goes in and out of that first turn, but at the moment it's Archie Fisher being chased down by Pierce. Has David got anything left in the tank? Turn up 3 into a 2. Rudy breaks the 4 through into DT cycles in there in 4 as to get in and out of the final corner. But it's Archie Fisher, your British champion. He's going to take the win on day 1. Looks like that is Peter BMX in there in 2. Let Clayton in 3. Right then, Jake Ross, massive start there for Matilda Hewitt, absolutely shot out for the cannon, looks like that's Mabel Hayne, Stacey and Payne, that's the 2 in your 1 at the moment, but it looks like Hewlett's going to make it into the whole shot, Mabel Payne sliding there into that 2 spot, here comes all that good, has to get in and out first turn, coming down it 2 at the moment, Payne being chased down there, but Abigail Henning is heading in there in that 2 spot, has she got anything left in the tank, looks like where's Nick Rental. She's in there in 6 at the moment, into the final corner, looks like that's Maggie Goodbye, swinging it up the inside, turning that 4 into a 3, but here comes Henning, Henning's on a charge, can she do it, can she cross the line? No, it's going to be Matilda Hewitt takes the win, Henning gets the 2, 10-year-old boys up on the... The 10-year-old boys are both perennial on a blinded first pedal, but it's big hands out of lane number one. Last year's national champion looking to hold shot into the third, and he's found the lead. Looks like we lost lead for the Grey White on the first straight. Let's hope that he's okay. It is Hens leading it out. I'm saying perennial world on the 3 right there with it looking to close the gap down. Let's look for the through the third straight. Do not take the eyes off the front of this pack. Detroit's in there for 3. That looks like it could be more cut in 4. Perenni, has he got enough left for the final straight? Big Hen Sullivan, outtake Perenni, right the way to the wire. Big Hen's hands on. Neither one of them two gents willing to give an inch. 10-year-old girls up on the... Girls all over. It looks like the European number 8. He's going to head towards number 1 in the front of the pack. It is Graham. Absolute bicycle motocross. He's still with her in and out of that first corner. Looks like we've got Lauren Snow in the pack. She's in there with about 3 at the moment. Having a good old scrub with the ice cream piano. That is a lead begin from the 17 though. It's kind of neat to pass her around. Using that 2-step, but no one can catch Ella Grant as of yet. Look at her go through the third straight. European finalist from 2025. In and out of that final corner they go. It is going to be Grant down the final straight. Picking up the win. Anna Grant, Canalucci across the line. Who's going to get the 3? I think Lawrence will just about hold on. Right then, male, 11-year-old. Massive gate there from Baptiste, putting across Rexford in the mix as well, but at the inside goes Easy Shaw. He's going to get the whole shot. Looks like that's Baptiste trotting it into the safe spot. So it's Shaw Baptiste, where's Giles? He's in there, he's 3. As he's in and out that first corner, here comes Seth Kachari. So at the moment it's Shaw, Baptiste, Kachari. That's the 1, 2, 3. Looks like Giles is in there with 4. Giles on a bit of a trial. Giles as he goes down there 4 straight, and it looks like Kachari. Kachari's trying to make it in the final corner. Beneath the Shaw's checked out and then here comes Kachari. Chari's trying to get that 3 into a 2. It's on the line. So close. Oh, massive gate there for the number 6. But can she do anything with Henderson? Trying to get over, but it looks like Molly Wilson. Holly Bishop doing it. The halo wheels going up the inside. Looks like it could be Bishop. Bishop's in and out of that first corner. Being chased down by Thompson and Powell and Getty as they come into it. So it is Fluid BMX, sorry. It's Tomlinson being chased down by Bishop. But moves up into that 3 spot. Is the hot spot rider, Emma Dean. So it's Tomlinson, Bishop, Dean. That's your 1, 2, 3. Looks like we've got a rider trying to go around the outside, but it's going to be a drag race. Here comes Bishop. Bishop's going down the outside. It's going to be, looks like it is Tomlinson. Bishop gets the 2. Right, before we get into a 12-year-old final, there's just a quick... Here we go, who wants this 100 quid and a bucket load of ODI goodies, headed for turn number 1. Monroe's right there, but he's clear to Henry. Good he's going to walk away with 100 quid no matter what happens in this final. Hemhill's in 1, Monroe's in 2, Jackson's in 3, Powell's in 4. Who's in 5? That looks like Carlin Gordon. Hayden Corner, Al Wolf, that's your 6, 7 and 8. Last turn action, Monroe's winding it up. We're looking for a high low, wasn't quite close enough. It's going to be a British champ and your national number 3, snapping it to the wire. Hemhill Monroe, that's your 1 and 2. 12-year-old girls up on the gate, ready for their final. We've got... Here we go with the 12-year-old girls final, heading towards turn number 1. We're looking like sort of race skill. We're going to pick up the whole shot. Yes, they are. Fairman Fair leads this one out. Who's there with her? That looks like it could be a very collective. Parish Quincy Trace chasing it towards turn number 2. Maisie Egan's in there for 3. The 10 pennies is the Underhill in 4. Third straight action. Up 4. Trace. Here comes Trace looking for a way out the outside. And she's found it. Trace goes from 2 to 1. Doing it the hard way. Evolve Collective couldn't pick up the 12-year-old girls win. Trace, Montford, Egan, that's your top 3. Right then, just before we move on to 13-year-old Oprah, just a reminder, please stop. Massive game, 3 riders wide, Anthony gets a corker, but he looks like he's Joe Rip going down to the line. Can he do it into the first corner? Looks like he's Joe Rip. Think that might be Ronnie Payne or James Beaton swinging it at the inside. So Rip's leading it out, chased down by Biggins. Who's that in the middle? That is Ronnie Payne. Oh, Swales hits the deck in the second turn. In and out of the final corner though, Joe Rip stays strong. He's leading it out. Looks like that's Bibby in there in 2. Pro stuff, so Bibby in 3, so Everly picks up the 4.
Hold tight.
Massive star, looks like Harder Racing, brought forth, let's go down, he's got Claire Harris going up there, as we go in and out there, it's Poshy Bishop, we've got 3 riders wide, in and out that first turner, so leading out, looks like it is Hard Knocks Racing, brought forth, being chased down by the W7 of Claire Harris, Salty Racing, and into the blow the ball, in every 3, so it's forth, it's Harris, full, that's 2, 1, 2, 3, going in and out of the final first. Has anybody got it best in the back? Just out to Fortin. Fortin's on the door. Here goes Harry to Fortin. Takes the win. Harry sets the 2. Takes the 3. 14 more goals on the gate for the final with top. 13-year-old Buzz Oliver. Howell's had an absolutely blinding game. Can he hang on to it to turn number 1? Howell, Miller, Parkinson, threads the needle, works his way to 2. He's chasing down the remote connection on Ethan Howell, who's almost perfect so far all the season long. Ethan Howell absolutely flying. Parkinson at 2, Miller's in 3. Down the side, Wilcox in 4, last third action. Wilcox goes to the highlight, can he make his stick on Parkinson? Right down to the wire. Howell, Miller, Parkinson, 1, 2 and 3. Final number 60 years old, the 14-year-old girls, the world number 8, Anna Lane number 1, works her way into her third line into that first corner, and she leads it out. Lauren, that's your 1 and 2 as it stands, who's in 3? It looks like Holly Gardner out of the Titans, but the scrap is all ours for him. Ward leading it out, still has Warren got enough left to find their way through. They're checking out from the rest of the pack. Diver hanging on to that 3 spot, she's under a bit of pressure. Last in action, who's thrown it under? Looks like that is Mark, but Cotton out of MCR. Ward, Warren, Cotton, Diver, James, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Right then, it is time for your Grand Vets 50 plus. Yes, what a 4 guys get shot out. Hill goes out like he kind of looks like that's article. Going down to that first place, but it's going to be Alan Hill. He gets the whole shot. Who's that slot? The exact next shot. Think it could be Sean Andrews. So it's Hill, Andrews, that's 1 and 2 at the minute. Looks like it's both Jason Lewis. So it's Hill and Lewis. There comes Sean Andrews in there in 3. Here comes Stuart Little in 4. Chiscott Darko at 90. They're having a bow. Fitzroy Price, he's trying to recover. Going for mate, looking to make moves on Tarkov, but checked out, it's your most winningest rider in BMX, Alan Hill, he takes the win. Vets up on the gate. Lining up, we've got Dylan. We are a go with the Vets, heading towards our first turn. Boom's in there, in the 1 spot, where is Booty, into the turn, he's in 3. Mr. Silk right there in 2. Boom leads it for Barnard. Boone's into 3, Mark 3, 2's in 4. Who's picking up the 5? That looks like Dylan Gibson, sorry, that's Newbury in 3rd. Here comes Barnard. It is Mr. Silk looking for a way round. Goes in a high low. Can he make his stick? They're banging bones through the final straight. Barnard, Boone, 1, 2, 3. The 40 plus bet showing us how it's done. That was mental. Right then, race there. Lockers going to get everything from a little bit higher in there. He looks like that green hairs. Having Brazil though, off the inside. Brazil, he gets the whole shot. He's that in there in two. Brazil's easy out of it. Where's Gosport? Here comes Sean. Is it in there in four? Into the left corner. He's that in two. Looks like it's Palmer. So Brazil and Palmer. That's you want to do. Here comes it in four. Lockers in five. Now they're in the final corner. But leading out looks like it's going to be Crucial BMX. Adam Brazil, he's going to take the win. Palmer gets the two. 30+ women up on the day. The 30+ women here, the track. Becca Bow has had a blinding start, your British champion. Look at the whole shot into that first corner. Who's the winner? Looks like we've got Nita 1 out of DC Cycles. Absolute DC, that's your 1 and 2. Team in Sport Clements nearing 3. On there, pretty much a home track. But I'm over 5 minutes down the road. Low Becky's in nearing 4. That looks like Barry in 5. There's still accident into the final turn. Rebecca Bell taking it to him, absolutely flying, gonna pick up the win. Anita 1 from Clemens to improve. 15 years old, open 8. Here we go, Dave Toms looks like that's Ned Cookie, it's hit with Annalise going up the inside, but Cookie's going to take the hot shot. Looks like that Cookie, no Howard's in the ear, they go BMX. Who's that Lord? Got Oscar Jewel, where's Oscar Jewel? He's been very clear at the minute, but looks like that's Cody Rayford. So it's Cookie, Rayford, Jewel, that's your 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Where's Eves? He's in there, in 6 at the moment, I think, but in and out of the final corner. Has Rayford got it here? There he goes, Cookie, but Cookie takes the win. Alan two to go, two, but she gets a good start from Ring Josephina. Sanalino, she goes to gate 6, not into 2, but who's going to do it? Ethan goes into it, Sanalino's in there into, oh, who's done it? Blue running, looks like that could be Coulson. So, leading out, who's there in that field? Oh, they're banging both into Coulson. It's Patel, so it's Ethan, Sanalino, Patel, that's the 1, 2, 3. Here comes Ellie in there in 5, can she turn that 5 into a 4, but in and out the final corner. Amelie Eaton, Gosport BMX, she's going to get the win. With Janavino, Janavino's going to get the 2. Patel's going to get the 3. 16. Do not blink or you might miss it. Who's going to pick on the whole shot down the first straight? Wilcox looking to hang on to it until the 10. Wilcox leads it out. Where's Lucas Seeley? He wants to make it 5.5. He's in there in that 2 spot at the moment. Picking it up with the 4 of Bradley James in another turn number 2. And Whistle's in there in 4. Davies in 5. But it's Wilcox out from Lucky Good heading in for the final 10. Halo Wills race team has run racing, got enough left for him in the tank. Wilcox Seeley, that's going to be a 1 and 2. 16-year-old girls are lining up on the start for their final. We've got final number 68 years ago. Lottie Brown on the inside out of main number 1. The national champion from 2025. Looking to make this trip to turn number 1. Brown, ready to lock into that looks like 30 number 3. Who's picking number 4 is the corner man. That's the Lori racing out the French. She's in the circuit close today. Then it's on her price. Looking to make her way down into a top 4 spot. Brown, Watson, that's still your 1 and 2. And Jamie Watson got enough left in the tank to bring it through the final straight. Lottie can't stop, won't stop. Brown picks up another national win. Watson both round out the podium spots. Right then, 17, 89, 40. Right, massive gate there, Coffee gets a bit of a squeeze, looks like that is Henry is there into eyes for the sausage, Coffee gets in, comes red body, as he comes in out first corner, here comes Borset, in and out, but leaving it out at the moment, looks like that Henry being chased down by Coffee, looks like it's Borset, in there in three, here comes Ashley, massive move there for Coffee, goes to 2 to 1, but it's not over yet. It's going to be a dark race to the line. Also getting the 2 off. Battle for Max's through the day, ladies and gents. Ollie Copper and Max's through the day. Gate drops on, Emily gets a bit of a stare, Maywall gets pushed back, but shot out like a cannon, looks like it's Sophie Howard, she drops it through, that could be Sabina Ashman, leading this one up, in and out the first turn, looks like it is, Rusty looks racing, Sabina Ashman being chased down by Howard, looks like that's Emily, in there in 3, moving up the rank, Rose not racing, here comes Racing Simmons, in there in 4, at the moment, Image Cocker, moves up from 5 to 4, to in and out, after that, Rusty look racing, Sabina Ashton, here comes Elwood, there's going to be a dash for life, Ashton takes the win, Elwood gets to, I think Evelyn kicks over 3, 19 to 29-year-old. He goes down 19 to 29-year-olds, a banging burst through the bush straight. This one's getting tasty. Who's gonna lead in? Bradshaw, the world number 4. Strickland's in there in 2. The world number 8, Savage in there in 3. Baxy's up to 4. In and out of our second quarter. Maynard, Baxy, Team UK. Tyrese, Bradshaw. Strickland, has he got enough left for him into the final turn? In and out they go. Bradshaw, Strickland, Savage, Bax. 1, 2, 3, out 4. We were 19. Early on, whole shot on the cross on track, ladies and gents. Whoever passes the whole shot line first is £100 richer, and it's going to be Emily Green. Ching in and out of the turn she goes. Green, Townsend, Drew, Archie 1, 2, 3. He's picking up there, looks like that through. She's been chased down by Monday into that second turn. Townsend near and 6. Look for this for a snap out for him. Who's going to pick it up into the turn? Green, Townsend, in and out of the final corner and down the final straight. Emily Green, £100 richer. Looks like she's going to hang on to the win. Wow, what a final. Right then, for a studio for Gosport, IBS is blowing their pedal, and leaves a line open into the turn. Junior down to Stoop, K2 Simpson Davis threads the needle. Davis leads it out, Thomas and nearly 2, Barry's up to 3, Greeners banging Bose in turn number 2, for K2 Simpson Davis, Barry's jump of S&X toys, has he Thomas getting them falling in the final straight. K2 Simpson Davis, take a bow, let her move it to number 1. Wow, big team. Right then, almost time. We've got our penultimate final of the day. Championship women. Make some noise. Race. Massive gate there, looks like it's out the render, can't go with gate 4 straight down the middle. Lee Webster up the inside, Megan Roy's in the mix as well. As she goes in, it looks like that is Megan Roy carving it in there. A little bit else than Rendell Todd, leading it out at the moment, but being chased down by Ashley Seawood. So it's good, top Rendell Todd, Seawood, that's your 1 and 2 at the moment. Where's Laura? Because here comes Leach as well. She's in there in 6, working away up into that top 5 position, but out rock like a cannon. Elsa Rendell Todd, she is your winner. Right then, Shut out of the caddy, looks like Jordan doing it for LCC, and then the BMX for Chad Hartwell, going on the east side. Chad Hartwell goes to Jordan, Jordan's in the mix, passing through, here's the shot, Hartwell's in there in two, burning out the flanking bird, looks like that's the neighbour rider, Chapel Maple, in there is clean, but Jordan checks now, he's done it twice already this year, at Manchester, so he's home, Hartwell, Chapel, that's it! Hartwell is there, Jordan takes the win for the Newton BMX and the LCC. Chad Hartwell hits the deck on the final straight. Just going to make sure, hope he's okay. He's had so much bad luck in the last couple of years. Come back from injury last year.